Gents Gaming. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, enjoy your featured presentation.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Oh, my controller's not working. There we go. Nick, can you hear me?
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Gents Gaming.
Subnautica. ASMR.
Asmer. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Nick.
And today, we're going to be getting caught up on the lore of Subnautica. But don't worry, we're not going to do it like this the whole time.
No, we are.
I just
I'm
thought...
going to make soothing ocean noises while you talk because we're in the ocean right now. I'm going to make the noises, you talk.
Okay, we made that funny. It's like, I gotta think of something funny to do in the beginning. What if I whisper? Oh no, there's a torpedo! Look out! What the heck was that?
It was my whale noise.
I said a torpedo!
Obviously. Wait, what? You said make a torpedo?
Yeah, I was like, oh no, a torpedo!
I didn't hear that because I was in the middle of making a whale noise.
I said it way before that.
Oh, well.
Okay, so day
Then
one...
I just wasn't listening.
Day one, we've got covered. Let's see, day two...
Oh, did you want to read all of your notifications too?
Should I? Is there
I don't
lore in
think
them?
that's necessary. That's more. I mean, that's stuff that's happening as you're going along. So it's probably not going to be a whole lot of stuff that's
so you don't
to you now.
You don't feel like we missed any lore or anything important that we haven't already experienced?
I don't think so.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, all of those notifications are kind of stuff that's like this is happening
That's true.
as the game is
yeah,
going,
there's like
so.
the sunbeam, and then there's Ozzy from the cafeteria with the grizzly snake thing, and then there's the guy with the ham and cheese sandwiches.
Sorry, Ozzy.
I forgot about that whole bit until just now. I think we do have another radio. Day 41.
Right. Be advised, the Cyclops is designed.
Okay, let's do the radio.
Never mind.
Oh
We'll never know.
Gosh. I'm going to use the ladder.
He was
for
not down there, silly.
I'm going to use the ladder for the first
up in
time.
your area.
Up in your area. Right here.
High priority automated message from Aurora Live Pod 13 coordinates attack. Live Pod is carrying high priority passenger.
Yoki Kasa. I said Kasa. Why do I have to record this anyway?
Send immediate burial detail.
Burial?
Signal location
Uh-oh.
uploaded to PDA.
Well, he's dead. Okay, well, we unlocked that. Okay, so we talked about it in the last episode, and I'm going to briefly mention it again. I forgot to fix the color. We're going to get caught up on the lore today, which means that we're going to go through and we're going to look at a bunch of this stuff, and we're just going to read it
Everything.
and interact with it. We'll take some occasional turns. I talked about it a lot in the last episode, and we're going to talk a lot in this episode, so I'll go back and watch that episode if you haven't already. But I have been ignoring a lot of this stuff, and I don't want to. And so we're going to get caught up. So if you've been screaming at your screen for me to read this stuff and pay attention, this is your episode. If you're fine and you already know all this stuff so you don't care about it, watch one of our other episodes.
Yeah.
So we're just... Is there any particular order that you think I should go in? Anything I should focus on first? Or do you think I should just start at the top and go down? Because I kind of just want to start at the top and go down, because I feel like that's going to be the most simple.
I think you're probably right. There's not really... I'm trying to think of how to say this. There's only some parts of it that are going to be kind of like story focused. A lot of it is more... You know when you catch a Pokemon, you fill out the Pokedex entry,
Yeah, and
and
I
you
love
read the Pokedex entry,
and I love reading
because it's
those.
fun to learn about it, but it doesn't actually do anything for the game.
That's true.
I think that's most of what you're going to be reading today.
Okay. This might be a heavily edited episode, too. I'm going to have to see... we've never done this before, so we're just going to have to see how this feels.
We've never read before.
I just learned, and now I want to show off. But alien eggs evidence suggests that a substantial number, if not all, of the local species reproduce through egg laying. Eggs can be found resting on the seafloor, buried beneath detritus. That's one of my favorite words.
Ooh.
Or even wedged into cracks in the
You
rock.
son of a detritus.
Different species likely favor different biomes. Eggs are in a natural stasis, awaiting ideal conditions to hatch. So that's why the eggs are just there and they're not hatching.
Yeah, they're just waiting.
Or they need a vital enzyme, which I feel like might be important to the story in some way.
It might.
Impossible to calculate the species from the exterior. Okay, that's good to know. I could get an alien containment unit. Okay, so
Yes.
somewhat useful. Blueprints. Okay, some of this stuff I'm not gonna read.
And I was gonna say a lot of this is more like, hey, this is what this is, and this is what it does. And there are some fun little things in it. Like if you notice at the very bottom of that, this has a little tagline: "The Altera stasis rifle, life's fast. Why not put it on pause?"
It sounds like an ad for the remote from Click. But Adam Sandler learned that was a bad idea.
That's true. Learned the hard way.
The Altera repair tool. Get your fix. The radiation
Fix.
suit, a necessary precaution in a post-mad world. All around me are familiar. The prop cannon. Some species are telekinetic. For everyone else, there's Altera. I'm just reading those now because I like them.
Just yeah.
The Altera spectroscope scanner, understanding the world so you don't have to.
That's nice.
This doesn't have one. Neither
Aw.
does this. Okay.
Oh,
No, that was fun. Aquariums, bulkhead drawers. A lot of this
Bulkhead
stuff I'm
doors.
realizing too that you've already told me about.
that's true.
This is also going to help my brain get rid of some of these markers.
Yeah, we're already
It's cool that it gives you
6 down.
It gives you the dimensions and stuff.
Yeah. Again, I like it. I like it when I'm playing the game because it makes me fill out the world a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I don't know, it's fun.
The Altera water filtration system. Any liquid into pure, refreshing, pH-balanced water. Yes, sir. Any liquid.
Any liquid.
That means you can pee into it. And then you can drink it. Power! Oh, this is just this. The bioreactor. Totally organic.
The Cyclops. The Cyclops is the most popular and reliable deep-sea submersible in the galaxy. By comparison to the competition, it can be crewed by just one pilot, hence the name.
Ooh.
It features 3-speed manual piloting controls and forward observation deck for precision maneuvering, dry deck for transportation, maintenance, and recharging of scouting vehicles, extensive storage solutions in the keel hold section, internal and external video feeds, onboard AI for threat detection, extensive customization options, advice for captains, higher speeds generate additional noise which may attract undesired attention, power consumption, engine off, 0%, slow, 25%, standard.
Oops. I pushed the button, I'm sorry. I was pretending to be like Vanna White. And I pushed a button. I don't know where you left off.
I was above a little bit.
Standard 50%, flank 100%, silent running
All
mode
right,
may be
all
activated
right,
in conjunction
all
with
right.
any.
Okay, all right. We're moving on. Warning! The use of alien materials to power the craft may increase its range in unpredictable ways. Warning! Onboard AI will not launch if local threats are detected.
Ooh,
Oh, that's the rocket. Actually, I should read
that's
that.
the rocket.
This blueprint set was developed at Altera headquarters specifically to get you off 4546
Thanks, Altera.
B and back to the
I
nearest
appreciate it.
phase gate. It takes into account local gravity, astronomical data, and available resources, and it is piloted by AI. It may be adapted to employ whatever power source is available, but it will require a lot of it. Okay, that's good to know. We'll need a lot of power. It contains 5 independently constructible elements. Launch platform. Floating platform which provides a solid base for which to launch the rocket. We have the blueprints for that. And that's it.
We actually have the blueprints for the entire thing, but it's only going to unlock as you build thing by thing. So once you build the launch platform, you'll then get the
Gotcha.
blueprints for the gantry, and then so on and forth and so
Gotcha.
forth.
And the gantry provides structural support. Stage 1, primary thrusters, fuel reserve, cockpit. One-person life support, short-range communications, adaptable power supply, orbital shielding.
Orbital shielding.
Orbital shielding. That's what I need. I need some orbital shielding.
Need some orbital shielding.
Warning! Onboard AI will not launch if there's... Oh, I already read that.
Yes, you did. Which is why if you were to build it right now, it's not going to get you off the planet because it's going to say, you're going to be targeted.
Yeah, because of the... So we need to find the cure to my disease, and then we can build the rocket. But it sounds like we're going to have to find a power source for the rocket, which I'm going to assume is probably like in the middle of the planet, where we're going to have to go way deep down. That's just my assumption, though. I don't know.
Might be out into the crater somewhere.
Oh boy, yeah. Prawn suit Mark III, nano suit. You want to read this one?
Sure, since you read all of them except for the one which you interrupted me in the middle of reading. The Prawn Suit Mark III, the pressure reactive waterproof nanosuit, is a range of mechs designed to protect the pilot from extreme environments. The Mark III is the latest iteration and has so far only been rolled out by Altera for their own high-value phase gate-related operations. The suit is fully insulated from the outside environment. Powerful, hydraulic limbs allow for manipulation of objects and power traversal of the environment. Rear-mounted thrusters provide maneuverability in low-gravity environments. A range of modifications are available to facilitate resource extraction and enhanced exploration. The Prawn Suit, it's got you covered.
Seek fluid intake.
Oh, I gotta
What was that?
I gotta eat and drink water. I forgot about that.
That almost scared me a little bit.
Whoa, look at how much
Almost.
this has grown. Also, we planted some growth beds.
Oh yeah,
And
we
moved our
didn't get to
stuff
show
around.
this off yet.
Yeah.
Look, guys, look.
Yeah.
He's a farmer.
You
Ladies.
don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com. Where's my fish? Food. There it is. Okay,
Fish
let's,
bait. Ooh, ha, ha.
let's fill up.
Vital
Who Philip
signs
is, but
stabilizing.
Let's get him.
Philip, if you're out there, I'd be
Can you
worried.
hear me?
Tyler's coming.
I
He's
just-
coming for you.
I just realized I don't have to. I can be here and we can read stuff. This is a nice background.
That's true.
We'll change the background.
It
up
is
a little
nice.
bit.
You can see the fish going around in the background.
I realized why I was so bad at
Peaceful.
school is because when you were reading that, I was like so distracted.
I was watching you just doing your own thing. Yeah.
Sea Glide. The Sea Glide is a personal transportation device designed for use in oceanic environments, capable of speeds up to 36 kilometers an hour in standing water. Displays basic topographical data for aid in charting cave systems. It's got a replaceable battery, but you got to keep your fingers clear of the propeller. The Sea Glide. Anything that moves faster underwater is probably trying to eat you.
That's true.
Would you like to... Oh my gosh, this is a long one. Would you like to teach us about the Jonkler?
The Jonkler is a one-person vehicle with an independent replaceable power cell fitted in the rear with a fully customizable design. Low-power,
fitted in the
multi-directional thrusters enable it to function equally well in sea or space environments. Most long-range vessels carry at least 2 vehicles of this class to facilitate the exploration and exploitation of small astronomical bodies, like mine.
Nick's got
However,
a small
they can also
Hey, we do it.
However, they can also be fabricated at a standard mobile vehicle bay. Top speed of 13... What's a meter per second?
Or miles per second, but that's probably not right. That'd be really
Can you
fast.
imagine? Acceleration 15 miles per second. Distance per power cell 10 kilomiles. Crush depth of 200 miles below sea level. Upgrade module slots 4, dimensions whatever. Persons 1. Sea moths, the Jonklers, may be modified by installing upgrade modules to the access point mounted on the wing. These include increased cargo storage, superior power, pressure, and collision compensation, enhanced
Superior power.
sonar, and defensive capabilities. No big deal. These modules may only be manufactured at a moon pool, outfitted with a vehicle modification station. The Sea Moth. It goes anywhere but land.
Oh, see, I should have read that before the
See?
last
We
episode.
could have avoided the whole issue before.
Okay, this isn't...
Dang it.
This is not important. Let's do this, though. I'm going full super picky.
You're going all the
about-
way in.
Yep, I'm going full super picky in this episode.
No, that's great.
Oh, this might be where stuff gets important.
Ooh.
The Alien Arch. The structure's intended purpose is unclear. My theories on its function: ceremonial or religious role. An industrial application. Advanced transportation network. Ooh. Like a portal or a door.
Like
Assessment?
another portal of some kind, maybe.
Maybe to the other area? The other alien area where we found stuff? Assessment. Further research is required. Now you get to read about the vent.
Ooh. Strap yourselves in, guys. It's about to get real interesting. Alien vent. These vents connect to an ancient piping network that extends beyond maximum scannable depth. The pumping system is still functional. The inflow vent is drawing water from the surrounding area and pumping it to an unknown location below the surface. Warm, deoxygenated water is being expelled into the atmosphere. Most creatures are avoiding the vents. Peepers can be observed entering and exiting the pipe network without signs of distress. Assessment. Further research required.
I really like the way that you said most creatures are avoiding the vents. Purple tablet. I thought it said purple thunder.
Ooh.
This
Purple
carbon
Thunder.
Purple Thunder.
It's a good Mountain Dew.
It should be your nickname. Purple Thunder.
Well, maybe it is.
This carbon-based device is lighter than it looks and features a symbol which resembles a U, lit up in purple. Despite the onboard power still functioning, algae growth on the exterior indicates it was abandoned hundreds, perhaps thousands of years ago.
Thousands of years.
Thousands of years ago. I feel like somebody at a carnival trying to get you to like win a prize.
Oh.
While this technology is far beyond federal levels, and there is no obvious way to interface with it, it should nonetheless be possible to fabricate a precise physical copy of this device, if necessary. I don't know what it does, but I can make it.
That's cool.
That's all the scan data I've obtained.
That's me with my kid.
Your turn.
Alien data terminal. Discovered inside an alien facility, it was not possible to translate any useful information. However, scans have returned some information on the device itself. It is likely a solid-state computer, SSD, although there is no clear way to interface with it. On approach, it began producing a low-frequency radio wave containing complex but recognizable data patterns. There was a complex word for me to say. It is likely the alien species which designed this technology evolved or genetically selected sensory apparatus to hear and understand the information being broadcast by the device, and to communicate back. The mental processing power required to perform this kind of telepathy would imply the designers were considerably more psychologically developed than the common human.
Than me and Nick.
Yeah.
Further research required.
Doesn't take much. That was pretty good.
Thank you. Enforcement platform schematic.
You ruined it.
This
You
data
immediately
appears
ruined
to
it.
be a multi-dimensional schematic of some kind. By mapping the pattern to three-dimensional space, it is possible to gather a basic understanding of this facility's internal workings. Why did I pick this one for the long one? Construction material. The facility's unknown construction material is identified as an ultra-hard, non-reactive metal. Amalgam. Synthesized from off-world materials.
Okay.
There's no indication that it can be damaged or destroyed by available means. Power. The schematic indicates that the facility was to be powered by a separate, self-sustaining power plant located elsewhere on the planet. The location is not listed, but there is evidence the designers intended to harness the planet's natural thermal energy. Ooh, I have thoughts on this, but don't let me forget them, even though you don't know them yet. Layout. The facility consists of the upper engineering section, where the schematic was found, and the control room, which is accessed via a security-sealed elevator shaft or a separate underwater moon pool. The control room in the lower section houses the only known way to interface with the facility. However, the schematic does not detail the operation procedure or installed security measures. Okay, so this pretty much just told me that this planet has a separate self-sustaining power plant powered through thermal energy. So that's probably what we're going to need to find for the rocket. It's what
That was hard to listen to.
I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Oh, here we go.
Loading program. Craig McGill, sir.
I would have been disappointed if you didn't do that.
We are of one mind. We are of one singular
Body.
brain. Oh. I wish.
I was like, are you going to read it?
Captain's log. Loading program. Craig McGill Simulator.VRAT. Size 1 player. Captain Hot Dog Hollister. Map Boreal 9. Resources normal.
You are exploring a quiet alien backwater when the ship you arrived here in explodes. It must be the arachnid kidney poachers. Quick, what will you do? Search the crash site, farm alien plants, or use the tectonic D-imploder? Unavailable. That's just what Craig McGill would do. After foraging for some hours, you have collected a number of potential farmable foodstuffs. Which will you sustain yourself with?
We're such children. We saw the word steak root and laughed. We laughed at the same time, and I can't even see you.
I can't deny it.
I know that you laughed at stank root because
It was stank root.
Stank root. That's such a
Like,
good
yeah.
name.
That's like,
That's such a
I have
good
nothing else
insult.
to say.
You flippin' stank
You
root.
freaking stank root.
You're stank down to your core.
Stanked down to your roots.
While the star wall eggs are nutritious, the life cycle of these vast space-faring creatures is much too slow to sustain a farm, and besides, their mother is extremely angry with you. Do you fight the star wall, apologize to the star wall, or accept your fate? Craig McGill knows there is no reasoning with the mother scorned. You are not so much torn apart as swallowed whole and disintegrated. The atoms that you thought were you are gradually redistributed in service of the star wall's continued survival. Would you like to continue?
No.
No, I would not.
Oops. I really
We're
would
done.
not. Goodbye, everyone.
So these ones you can listen. Some of them you can listen to.
Yeah, let's
I know a lot of
Not
this is
really a
stuff that we've
doctor.
already like heard before, because this is like when you're going to go see the life pods. Like that's what's gonna pop up. Although I some of this stuff actually you might have grabbed while you were in the life pod
yeah,
and not listened to it yet. So
I've got a good feeling that I've missed most of this.
I think you're right.
I'm not really a doctor. I know that's what my ID says, but I never have been. Cheated the medical exams. What does a doctor these days need to know about manually
Chat
resetting
GPT.
bones? When was the last time a top surgeon actually cut someone open?
Seriously,
That's what the robots are for.
what are doctors for?
Doctors these days read diagnoses off of computer readouts. For that, I'm perfectly qualified. But what good is it when I'm not connected to the main network? I'm bleeding. I've got glowing green pustules growing on my hands. I run a self-scan and it tells me I've got skin irritation. The only thing I studied in medical school was how to lie convincingly. What the hell do I know about how to treat an alien disease? I think I'm actually going to die down here.
Okay, so those green things that we saw on the Shark Chompy guys must have been what's on him. Is that the like the consent? I almost said consensual. The like the disease that we have that's like the main plague of this
That
area.
you've been contracted.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's what I'm assuming.
How's his log? It's the day of the crash. I don't know what the heck is happening. I'm scared and I'm not going outside.
Me every day.
There are shadows in the water under the hatch, but I can't tell if they're rocks or aliens. And there's weird-looking caves nearby. The Aurora was carrying everything needed to build the phase gate. Mobile vehicle bays, bioreactors, propulsion cannons. It had a cinema. There was a zero-G gym. My cafe. I don't understand how we're here now. I don't know why no one's coming for me.
Oh. That's a sad thing to think about.
I know. Listening to that one, I was like, as scared of this game as I am. Imagine like falling from the sky in a life pod and landing in this ocean and having things trying to get you while you're in your little pod. Like, oh my gosh, that's horrifying. I'm glad that's
Very scary.
I'm glad that that's not how the game started. It's like a Reaper Leviathan is what like tears open our life pod. God. Whew.
Yeah, your character did get really lucky landing where they did.
Yeah, seriously, in the safe zone.
No.
Although number 6 also kind of landed. Oh, that's right, but they lit the flare and blew themselves up. I forgot about that. Wow, that sucks.
You almost weren't alone on the planet.
Lifepod 19, Second Officer Keen's crew logged. Well, the crew, if you are reading this, then you have followed the automatic distress signal broadcast by this Lifepod's onboard computer, contrary to my orders. I have been forced to evacuate. Your orders are to disregard my safety and attempt to reach the designated rendezvous coordinates at the nearest landmass. I hope to see you there.
Keen, this is Aurora. Come in.
This is Keen.
I didn't do a
Light
good
pod
job with
detached to
his
OK Planet Fall in 30 seconds.
The
This is Keen
computer
now, technically.
has identified a
That's what I'm
landmass at the attached coordinates.
I should have been more
I
British.
want you to regroup
Well,
the
no,
crew
it's Keen.
there.
That's the guy.
Understood, but
They are your
I guess he is kind of
responsibility
British,
now.
huh?
Don't let them down.
Captain, you need to evacuate.
Negative. You'll need the ship in one piece if you're going to contact HQ on the long range. I'm attempting a controlled descent.
Captain?
Oh, so that's the moment that we got shot.
Mm-hmm.
I have to assume that the giant rocket is what shot us down. I mean, I don't know if it's
Giant
the
power
giant.
gun.
Yeah, I don't know if it's blatantly spelled that out quite yet, but
I don't think it has, and I don't know that it ever will specifically say that, but it's to be pretty obvious.
it feels pretty obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
You really think it'll carry two of us?
Your regular sea glide tows a mass of 80 kilograms at over 30 kilometers an hour. The power cellar rig to this one should double that.
You think there's something out there that's faster?
Oh, sure. And that's assuming it doesn't overload 3 meters from the life pod.
You're calm about this.
I'm seeing the engineering problem. If I stop seeing the maths, I'll be terrified.
So they tried to juice up a sea glide and carry
Yeah,
both of them.
Try and get away. Yeah.
This is making me so much more scared. This is not accomplishing what I was hoping.
To any Altera crew. Landed in area of significant alien activity. Encountered predators in the Leviathan class, highly
This
aggressive.
could have been you.
Spectroscope scanner assigned species designator.
I actually vaguely remember.
One specimen
overhearing
attempted to
this
swallow the life pod, doing extensive damage in the process. Only viable option is to make for the safety of the Aurora crash site. I have retrieved a data box with the creature decoy and enough resources to fabricate a couple of them. The swim's longer than the decoy lifetime, but it should just be enough to keep them busy. If you don't find me on board the ship, presume I miscalculated.
He miscalculated.
I believe he miscalculated.
I remember you saying that.
Dang.
What are you doing? You were gone so long. I thought you drowned.
You gone
Put the
so
flare
long?
down.
Drowned?
I was going to try and attract someone's attention. That's not a distress flare. Stop waving
Oh,
it
yeah, we
around
just
like that.
listened
You'll
to this
catch the
one.
fuel line.
Or we read it. I guess I didn't listen to it.
Oh, you're not not close enough. If you could change your fate, would you?
Yeah, I would. I would not flash a flare
Blow up.
around. Yeah. This doesn't seem...
Oh, so this is kind of talking about a little bit what you were mentioning. So there's a couple of different facilities located around the planet that the aliens made, and this is going to tell you kind of about them and sort of what they were and the purpose and where they are.
Yeah, so there's a disease research facility 800 meters down. That is actually really good to know. It's in a cave system with an extensive fossil record, southwest of entrance platform. Is it
Enforcement platform. The enforcement platform is the gun tower.
Okay, so if I go southwest from the gun tower and 800 meters down, I can find the research facility.
Indeed.
Okay, hey, you know what? That's useful.
Look at that.
And the thermal power facility, the other thing that we need. Jeez, it's a good thing we're reading this. It's 1,200 meters down.
Oh, yeah.
It's in an extensive natural rock formation in an area of intense volcanic activity. So we have to go into an underground volcano.
Which you could assume of that. It's a thermal power facility. Thermal meaning heat.
That's
you know?
true. That's true. But what kind of monsters are going to live in a volcano?
Maybe none. It's a volcano.
No, there's going to be monsters. There's got to be.
You missed the last line of the disease research one, too. Talking about the objective of it.
Oh, synthesis of an antidote for highly infectious bacterium designated Kara. Why does why does that name sound familiar? Should it sound familiar?
No.
Okay.
I mean, unless you're thinking of a different car from a different thing.
No.
Okay.
I thought we saw.
I think this is our first time. Should be our first time hearing it, but that's the name that the aliens gave to the disease that's on the planet.
Gotcha.
It's making all the green stuff everywhere.
Okay, so it is the same thing. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I've pieced some of this together, and this is confirming it. This is good to know. In the event of an outbreak, quarantine procedures will automatically be enforced with immediate effect. The quarantine enforcement platform will target all incoming and outgoing craft to prevent the spread. So that's why this ship's got shot down.
Exactly.
It feels like they could have built some kind of like radio thing that sent them automatic transmissions that said, "Hey, don't go on the ship.
Don't come here."
Yeah, that felt like that would have been a little easier, but whatever.
I believe I can't remember entirely, but I seem to recall that actually might even be in the next game, which I don't think we're going to plan on playing.
Maybe.
Then it's revealed that the aliens somehow like got or made the virus and then had to find a way to cure it because it was just devastating their entire society. And so they came to this planet to test it on the creatures to try and find a way to cure it. And so because it was so deadly and destructive to them, that's why they're like really sticklers about making sure that it doesn't spread anywhere else.
That makes sense. They made alien COVID.
Pretty much, yeah. That's like exactly the case, yes.
Distress signal, LifePod 4, coordinates. That's just that. These probably aren't.
That is just that. Yeah, those are all just, hey, there's a pod here.
Yeah. Sweet offer. You can read this one.
From Huggins to Wilson.
So, you're telling me you've been on this rig more than a year and you never took a ride on the outside? Well, now, you've only gone and gotten yourself a friend with the keys to a giant frickin' robot suit. We've plain got nothing to do till we get Starside to work on the gate. You want to taste the stars? You've only got to say, my spare prawn suit's got your name on it. You don't know what power feels like till you've crushed an asteroid with your bare, heavily mechanically augmented hands. Want to play catch with a passing meteor? Come by cabin number 1. Code's 1869.
That I'm enticed. That is a sweet offer. Also, that was the perfect voice for that.
Thank you. I'm practicing.
Okay, cool. That was useful. I didn't get. I got most of the Degassi things.
Once again, we haven't even visited one of the bases.
Yeah, you mentioned that. So
I think you'll be able to piece together most of kind of what's going on here until later when we do reach the last base.
Yeah.
And also, there we go.
Search and
so
rescue.
this is talking about before they even got any like information from it. This is saying this is what the Degassi was and what it was intended to do.
Okay.
Kind of.
So it's a search and rescue crew of the Mongolian vessel. Oh, so they're from Mongolia, which is Degassi. Last known position, the vicinity of the planet. Contact isn't Kassar? Wasn't that the name of the virus?
No, that's Kara.
Kara.
Jochi Kassar is the name of the guy on the life pod earlier who said this is like a high important person. Come with a burial thing.
Yeah.
That was him.
Was the Mongolian emissary Jochi Kassar?
Yep.
Jochi. How did you say it?
Jochi Kassar.
Jochi Kassar. Okay.
I don't know how I say it.
I'm really good. I'm usually pretty good with names. I would have thought it'd be Yoki Kassar, but
it might be Yoki. I don't know what it is.
Aurora passenger quarters. Mission brief. A Mongolian vessel, the Degassi, disappeared almost a decade ago, carrying with it a highly ranking Mongolian chief. Corporate insurance has purchased passage aboard the Aurora for emissary Kassar, and your orders are to make every reasonable effort to locate and retrieve the Degassi crew members, without compromising the primary mission. Confirming the fate of the crew will aid Alterra's diplomatic efforts with the Mongolian Council. Mission details. Aurora is due to perform a slingshot maneuver around 4546b, Category 3, Ocean Planet, approximately 13 months post-launch. This will bring the ship within range of the Degassi's last known position. Additional aquatic and all-terrain vehicles have been included in Aurora's cargo package for the mission. Degassi crew manifesto has been distributed to senior employees in a separate massage. Okay, so that's actually really interesting. basically we were on like a mission, and a side mission was to take him along with us so we could figure out what was going on with his crew, basically. And that's how, and then in coming here to do that, we probably suffered the same fate that his crew did, which was getting shot down by a giant cannon.
Exactly.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's explicitly stated here or not, but I think later on also it will say that this mission here with the Degassi, like to bring this guy here, was out of the way.
Yeah.
From where the Aurora would have intentionally gone, so they would have probably gone on and went to their Stargate to build it or whatever. But because of this specifically, that's why they ended up in this position.
Yeah, they did. They were going out of their way to try to fix their relationship with them, and doomed themselves.
Yes.
Well, and it's interesting too, and maybe it's just like maybe they like overly did it just to like show the fact that it had been there for a while. But it felt like they got shot down, and there must have been people that survived because they built those. This is not where my food is.
Where are you going?
It's the wrong way.
You were in the right area.
I know. They must have been there for a while to like have built. They must have, number one, survived because they had built those like pods. But then
in that little manifesto it said that it was lost over a decade ago.
Oh, okay, you're right. That makes sense.
So yes, it was a while.
That's why they were so decrepit, is because they had been out for, and you're on an ocean planet, seawater,
salt water. Yeah, that'll do it too.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't think this stuff was growing when I was looking at it.
Surprise!
I'll have to go back and watch. Okay, so that's really interesting.
Times.
They were trying to go off of their path to do a side political thing, and they cooked them.
And now they're dead.
Okay, you got this one. You got Bart. You got Bart Torgal.
Bart Torgal. Eat my shorts.
No.
My auxiliary search and rescue mission. Bart Torgal. Position: Vice President of Torgal Corps. Torgal Corps. Status: lost in space near planet 4546b. Age at time of disappearance 19. He was the only legitimate child of Paul Torgal, beneficiary of enhanced learning techniques and cerebral implants. Digitrained on advanced biochemistry and stellar economics. Emissary Kassar reports Bart was accompanying his father to a newly constructed deep space station where he was to serve a 5-year term as chief operating officer.
Okay, interesting. So a reason why they wanted to find the Degassi was because it had these important people. One of them being the legitimate heir of this huge corporation, and he has like
Torgal Corps.
Torgal Corps, and he has implants, which is crazy.
Beneficiary of enhanced learning techniques in it. Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Implants. So he had like brain implants.
He was smart.
Smart Bart.
Smart Bart. Smart Bart Torgal.
He was Smart Bart Torgal.
This is the first time I've seen sunlight in months. After all that time in the deep, I'd been dreaming of it. Now that I'm back here, I'm finding it hard to enjoy alone. Father was right. We should never have left this place. We shouldn't have gone so deep. They do not want us down there. Despite my best efforts, ill health is taking hold of me. The visions are getting worse. Marguerite and Father are now part of the ecosystem of this incredible planet. It's reassuring to know that when I go, I'll join them. Until then, well, there's always the view.
Oh, that's so sad. Number one, his voice sounded really deep for a 19-year-old. Maybe he'd already been there for a while. Number two, his voice sounded hot. I bet Bart Torgal was hot.
Probably.
Also, he mentioned the visions, and we had that one vision.
It's true. We did.
Is this a thing where, like, if I take too much time, I'll die from the disease? Is there, like, a hidden internal clock?
This island is a godsend. Look out of the window. No predators. Fresh food.
No building materials, nothing left of the ship. And your kid says we're gonna starve without more grow beds. Speak up, kid.
It's true, Father.
It's true.
The natural growth rates are too slow to keep supporting us.
All I'm saying is Ocean's got us surrounded. No use hiding. Sooner or later, we'll get our feet wet.
The rest of your life may have been a fight, Maida, but I've made my decision. You want to forfeit your emergency pay to take a swim? Go ahead.
Believe me, I'm thinking of
Why
it.
does Father Paul Torgal sound like he's from Scotland and son Bart Torgal sound like he's from England?
Maybe Mom Torgal was from England.
Mom Torgal. It's like, it's true, Father. And then, but he's like, look out the window,
This island is
no
a godsend.
predators.
Look out of the window,
Fresh
no predators, no fresh food.
Son, I said wait for the storm to pass. Your life's more valuable to me than a plant patch.
You stopped being in charge when the ship you were captaining sunk.
I'll stop being in charge when you take charge of yourself.
Say, Chief. Chief,
What?
you know how to drain those grow beds of 40 tons of stormwater? Or how to conjure food from the air?
I know how to prioritize.
I'm just saying, if that's so, what's your boy's life worth, Chief, today? If tomorrow you're gonna be so hungry you start wondering what he tastes like, let him go deal with the plants.
Son, go deal with the plants.
Bart Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Bart, Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Okay.
Interfere with my family again, and when rescue arrives, I will leave you here. Do you understand me?
No rescue coming, Chief. Not in time. And no staying here neither. This rain keeps falling, sooner or later this place will be buried. Only choice we got is whether to get buried with it.
She's a realist.
So she was kind of like the muscle, like to protect,
Yeah.
keep them safe.
That's very interesting. And he's like, don't tell me what to do, but then she's also right. She's
Yeah.
like, do you want to eat your son? He's like, no.
What is that thing?
Skipped over
I
one.
don't know. I found it outside in the sand.
Well,
Part of another ship?
None I've ever seen.
I was trying to have a sip
not even
of my
scratched.
McDonald's Sprite.
Don't...
You see,
Your
Chief,
McDonald's.
you brought us to
Minecraft,
this
right?
sodden planet. Told us we'd see a lush
It was made
payday.
with flint and steel.
Now what do we got some 6 weeks later? A dead crew, a habitat that's half buried, food washed away.
I suppose the executive decisions would be better left to someone with your extensive experience of hitting people in the face.
I know enough not to take unscheduled detours to uncharted planets. That's something you don't want to learn the hard way.
Easy to judge a decision in hindsight. Harder to come up with a plan of your own.
Got one already. We take what we can carry and hunker down in a cave somewhere. I scouted a site, a couple 100 meters deep, lots of metal deposits.
How do you imagine we'd live?
With ready access to building materials, like damn queens, a couple of water filters, a bioreactor, fresh fish. But Chief, we'll eat seaweed salad and drink our own urine if that's what it takes. All that matters is, do you got something better?
Send the coordinates to my PDA. I'll review your proposal.
That's basically what we're doing right now. I mean, I'm literally in that room where I have my food and water. But
You're living like a queen.
I've got a feeling though. I got a feeling because she was like, we could do this, but I've got a feeling he's going to be stubborn and isn't going to want to go along with it because the muscle thought of it. Also, when I was listening to that, number one, the voice actors did a fantastic job because I feel like I can see the characters and exactly what they look like. Like Marguerite sounds like a tall, buff, short, blonde-haired woman, kind of like the Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones. Like I'm picturing her, and Paul sounds like a shorter, more filled out, like white-haired, but previously had red hair, maybe because he's Scottish, but whatever. Like he like a salty sea dog kind of looking guy, but that's like still kept together. And the son sounds like a tall, posh boy with like a quiff haircut. Like they did a phenomenal job with this.
They did do really good with the voice acting.
Yeah,
I agree.
I am in. I want a Subnautica movie. As horrifying as that would be, but could you imagine
really scary.
Like making a movie of like, you know, a crew of people like dealing with this kind of stuff? It'd be so good and
It would be really cool.
So scary. Oh my gosh. Oh, could you imagine the movie scene where you're like in a sea moth and it like gets dark and there's like things and it's like and then you hear like that. Oh my gosh, that would be so good.
You're like,
I don't think
It'd
I'd
be
watch it.
I would go see it. I'd go see it.
I think I'd watch it with you. I wouldn't watch it if I hadn't played this game because it would sound horrifying. But man, this would make such a good movie.
It would.
It's not even scratched.
What is that thing?
I don't know. I found it outside in the sand.
Part of another ship?
None I've ever seen.
It's not even scratched.
Don't fool around with it. It might be worth something.
Stand down, Chief. If it were gonna crumble to dust, it would have done so when I picked it up.
It's glowing.
We're not the first people to come to this planet.
People. Maybe. Could be aliens. Could be the damn sea monsters for all we know. One thing for sure, we ain't gonna find out by staying here.
Yeah, Marguerite could be played by the actress who plays Brienne of Tarth. Paul could be played by Liam Neeson. Bart could be someone that I'm not very good with actors, but okay.
That's better than me, apparently.
So we missed number 5, which is unfortunate because I'm into this.
Actually enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5 is, I believe, in the purple mushroom area.
Oh, really? I just missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're already 200 meters below sea level. You want to go deeper?
Look around us, Chief. Water leaking through the hull, water outside the hatch. We're drowning real slow. If rescue arrives, whatever shot us down, it's gonna do it again and again until it's shut off. You see an off switch around here, Chief?
Yeah.
Why would it any more likely be half a kilometer down?
Your kid found something on the scanner. There's something down there. Something that shouldn't be.
You're mad.
I'm going all the same, and I've an idea you two are gonna follow. But if you do, be mindful. Your authority stopped at sea level.
It's funny because it kind of sounds like she's the smart one.
Yeah.
Even though she's supposed to be obviously like the buff one. Ooh, oh gosh, I am so into this.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
These conniving corporate bourgeois, inbred, incompetent, self-absorbed jerks don't have a damn clue. The kid's not so bad. He's even useful. But I swear, everything that comes out of his father's idiot face is a narcissistic lie. He wants to stay in this cave, his problem. I'm the one doing the heavy lifting. When sea monsters are hunting you, you don't hide. You hunt the sea monsters. Then you build a bigger boat out of sea monster bones and you hunt bigger monsters. Keep going until there aren't any monsters left to hunt you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going deeper. I'm gonna find what shot us down and I'm gonna tear its damn heart out.
Jeez.
I've started the
She's a
prep
fighter.
work.
Yes,
The
she
kids
is.
taught me how to make enameled glass. I've started stockpiling metal ores to build myself a sea moth. I'll raid the indoor grow beds.
Dang,
before
so
I
she's
leave.
stocking up and she's going. She's what
Yeah.
everybody probably wants me to do.
She's friggin' ready.
And I want to hide in the
Maybe.
cave.
You want to
Chief
total
Slug.
corporate?
Yeah, I want to Torgal corporate.
Chief's log, 5 weeks since the crash. The only other survivors are my son, Bart, and Maida, the cut-price mercenary I commissioned for the journey. After days drifting in the life pod, rain hammering on the roof, the weather cleared and we washed up here. I had Maida salvage the Degazi wreck, set Bart to finding us a stable source of food. His education is paying off sooner than I'd anticipated. Our only problem is Maida. She says the weather's going to turn. I say she's finding excuses to risk our lives. I imagine she's not going to weaken her life without a physical altercation, and she's itching for a fight. In every judgment she makes, things go from bad to worse. If she had my experience, she'd have more faith. Humans have spent millennia specializing in how to shackle nature to our will. This planet won't cause us any new problems. My one task now is to keep us alive, as comfortably as possible, until the insurance company arranges rescue. In this part of space, that could be months, or even years.
Oh, it's so interesting because they're both right and they're both wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, he's so smart for wanting to take it, like, be calculated and not take unnecessary risks and, like, trust the process.
Yeah.
But also, like, you're gonna die if you just sit around and do nothing. They don't know about the disease yet either, though.
That's true.
Which,
so if you go back to the top of this section really quick, you'll remember it started off with
Bart's thing, right?
Yeah, Bart talking his return from the deep, down one. So this one is kind of actually technically the last of all of the Degassi things. So after you get all of them, that's kind of he comes back from their trip down there, and you can see he says that it's taking its toll on me. My vision's getting worse. So they did succumb to that.
Months.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did get sick, and that's because they decided to go in the water. So
you really could make such a good, even if it was just like a short animated movie, literally using all of just the voice lines from this.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay. I mean, it doesn't.
They've made a compelling story.
It made a compelling story. It doesn't really make a difference to us, except for world building. But I consider the world
but that's
more
fun.
built.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I liked that a lot. I can't wait to find more. Now I'm going to be... now when we find those, I'm going to be really excited to watch them.
Yes.
I'm going to be like, yes, we got to watch that right now.
Average long-range transmission delay, 8
I
hours.
recognize her voice.
Opening last recorded transmissions.
I know her.
This is an emergency distress call. Aurora is on collision course with planet 4546b. Sending all available environmental data. Please respond with rescue solution out.
This is Altera HQ.
This was your ship, the Aurora,
Attached to
as it
this
was
message,
crashing,
you should
basically.
find the blueprints for an escape ship
Yeah.
that we calculate will be capable of breaking orbit and getting you back to the nearest phase gate. Now, it's
Phase
designed
gate?
to use materials you can find in situ, but it's gonna need one hell of a power source. Now, we'll be sure to...
Phase Gate
Aurora
sounds like the
long-range
name of like an
communications
esports
relay
team.
offline.
We are Phase Gate. Have they mentioned phase gates? Are those what they sound like?
So yeah, phase gates.
Teleportation.
That's kind of like what the Aurora was intended to do. Was it was going out and to go work on building another phase gate. So Aurora's this company. They have, and I think there's a whole, maybe it's in public documents. I don't know. There's something we'll talk about Aurora and what this company is, and it's all about space travel and stuff. And so they have like a monopoly kind of on all the phase gates around. I think it's that and one other company maybe, but
interesting. So the teleportation's the thing, which makes me think. And then there's warpers, and then there's alien gates.
And I don't know that phase gates are necessarily teleportation. Yeah, it kind of is.
I mean, it sounds like it.
I think it's effectively supposed to be transportation or
Yeah.
teleportation.
I'm just doing a quick look through.
No, you're good. Yeah.
I guess this is probably. Is this important?
It's basically saying, hey, the Aurora crashed. This is what happened. You know, like this is
Human life signs detected over long range 1. So basically, it's just confirming that personnel unaccounted for. Maintenance Chief Riley Robinson. Is that me?
That is you.
I'm Riley Robinson?
You are Riley Robinson.
Oh, I know my... Well, okay, I guess this was important. I found out my name.
Congratulations, Riley.
Life pod base... Life pods 1 through 25. None of them survived. Except for me.
One of them, yeah.
Terra rescue solution... Monitor equipment. Okay, interesting. Of course, shielded by a thick metal shell. It's breached contingent leak radiation. Okay, so that's why there was radiation.
Yep. And then you fixed it.
Yep.
Ooh, the VR suit log.
Is this... Oh, there are VR suits on the ship, weren't there?
Maybe.
Desert Island Drama .vrat. 3 players. Washed away.
Resources normal.
Traded a coconut for 10 credits. Planted the coconut. Oh.
He grew a coconut tree.
Player 3 grew a coconut tree and the other two... Oh, okay. We should read this, actually. This is interesting. Player 1 has been washed away by an unusually high tide. Player 2 has traded a coconut with Player 3 for 10 credits. Player 3... Actually, do you want to be... No, I'll just keep reading it. That's too complicated. Player 3 has planted a coconut. Players are getting hungry. Player 3 has grown a coconut tree. Player 3 has eaten a coconut. Player 3 is no longer hungry. Player 3 has traded a coconut with Player 2 for 30 credits. So he bought a coconut for 10 credits, planted it, grew more coconuts, and sold it to him for 30 credits. Man,
indeed.
Capitalism. Player 2 has eaten coconut but is still hungry. Player 3 has traded coconut with Player 2 in exchange for building a tent. Player 3 is sleeping inside the tent. Player 2 is cold. Night falls. A passing ship is offering trading. Player 2 has traded 30 credits for a musket. Player 3 has been shot twice in the head while sleeping. Player 2 wins. Player 2 has died from cold and starvation. What happened to Player 1? Oh, he got washed away by an
He washed away at the very beginning by an unusually high tide.
That's funny. That's funny.
That's funny.
I like that. This seems important. Let's see. We still have a lot left, don't we?
Not too much.
Okay.
It's this, and then I don't think we need to really worry about geological data if you don't want to. That's like talking about the environment. The indigenous life forms could be, that's probably the funnest one.
Okay, let's power through then. We're a little bit over, but if we're gonna just make 56 minutes.
Oh dang.
But
all right.
If that's what this episode is gonna be, we gotta just get it done.
Charity is an archaic concept with which the realism of today's Alterans has rendered obsolete. We understand that we are each responsible for ourselves, but the best way to get the most for ourselves is to work together with Altera. The implication of this reasoning is clear. If someone is in need, they must find a way to be needed. Altera Alms is a training academy for those that need to be needed. We're not a charity because we don't ask for handouts. We prefer to think of ourselves as a philanthropic beneficence facilitation service promoting synergy between employer and workforce. AA operates on a lottery system. By investing any number of credits, you will be entered into our prize draw. Larger investments yield higher chances of winning. Your credits will go toward training unskilled colonists in vital tasks such as maintenance and interpersonal skills. The colonists receive this training voluntarily and free of charge on condition of a minimum contract with one of our investors on completion of their training.
Oh, this is very interesting.
I think most of this will start to build your image of Altera.
I'm starting to get the vibe that it's not particularly great, but they do a very good job of making it seem great. That's just the vibe I'm getting so far.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Listen, I know I don't have the right to make demands of you, but I need you to understand that I want to change our arrangement.
I hear what you're saying, and I will try to respect it. How would you like to change it?
I would like to reduce our contact hours.
How much further can we do that?
To 0.
You're dumping me.
I'm changing the terms of our relationship.
How is it still a relationship if we don't see each other?
It's a relationship of a kind. You have so many expectations.
I feel you just want to spend more time with that dumb guy in his dumb robot suit.
That's not a feeling. It's a judgment. And I feel hostility in what you're saying. Perhaps your jealousy is a sign that you need to take another look at your business model. Why can't you just be happy for me?
I am happy for you, and I'm happy for all the guys in the prawn bay. I'm just not happy for me.
This is why I want to change our arrangement.
This feels like when AI eventually takes over the world and AI replaces humans. This feels like an AI-human argument. I want to change the nature of our contract.
So this right here will explain what was going on there, kind of. First of all, remember that one thing that I read that was the sweet deal?
Yeah. Because he's got the prawn suit, and he's like, I got this prawn suit, and it can do all this stuff, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that sweet deal was for that woman.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And I also remember that the prawn suit talked about, or the lady, when you build the prawn suit, it's like, the prawn suit gives people feelings of invulnerability and superhero-ness and stuff and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And he kind of sounded
real good.
He kind of sounded like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Responsible, Autonomous Relationships. Foreword by Jenny Eckert. All the good things in life are commodities. We trade love just as we buy and sell stock. We engage in human relationships we engage in human relationships when there is a fair exchange of value, support, motivation, affection. Nothing good is ever free. If every physical good in the Federation came from a single supplier, it would constitute a dangerous monopoly. Personal relationships are the same. It is important for people to get what they need from multiple sources. If a person finds a better source of the goods they require, they are not wronging their original supplier by changing their purchase arrangements. If one member of a relationship should feel threatened or jealous, they must look at their own business model and ask whether it is performing competitively. There's always room for improvement. She is cold-blooded.
Yeah. And that is the woman who was saying that in the last in that thing you just listened to.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it was. It 100% was.
I mean, sucks.
Like, she super sucks. And it's like, I guess you're right, but also shut up and screw you.
There's certain aspects of that could be correct, but also a large part of it that's like also not.
Oh, yeah, in a very black and white world, that would be correct, but we don't live in a black and white world.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So that kind of gives me the vibe of what Altera seems like, where it's very transactional and very, like, black and white, but also...
What can you do for me?
But, like, with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me think of... I've mentioned Fallout a few times, but it reminds me of... Because Fallout kind of focuses on the like nuclear energy thing and how it's all like happy and skippy, but then obviously
it's very much Vault Tech.
Yeah, Vault Tech. That's what I was thinking of. It gives me Vault Tech vibes.
Yeah, Vault Tech vibes.
You want to read today's menu?
Yeah, starter: the Space Bear Volute. I don't know what that word is. Since their introduction to the interstellar vacuum in the 21st century, microscopic tardigrades, or space bears, have adapted and flourished where no other life forms have survived. Condensed into a smooth, nutty, protein-rich soup, they are the freshest local ingredient available to travelers on long-haul space flights. Main: cottage pie or nutria block. Rehydrated minced beef in its own gravy, served with a topping of mashed Chinese potato, picked fresh this morning from on-board grow beds, and a side of sautéed Chinese potato plant leaves. For the time-conscious consumer, the usual nutrient block options are available. They may be consumed cold or reconstituted at the on-site fabricator. Dessert: dried fruits and nuts. Unfortunately, a recent accident in Cargo Bay 3 involving the incorrect application of a repulsing cannon in combination with a modified battery charger resulted in the venting into space of all dehydrated desserts. Fruit and nuts will be the only available dessert for the next 39 weeks.
Oh, no.
I would be devastated.
Oh. Somebody shot all the ice cream out the
Somebody
hangar.
done messed up.
That's funny. Trends Gov Profile, Altera Corp. One of the largest suppliers of spacefaring technologies and consumer electronics in the Federation. The official supplier of the TSF. Consistently ranked amongst the galaxy's best employers. Began life as a defense manufacturer in the mid-22nd century. Okay, so they made guns, and then they took over the world. National motto: get what you deserve. Wow. Although most transgovs can trace their roots back to Earth, Altera, literally meaning by Earth, is the only one brazen enough to take its name. During the expansion, Altera supplied arms to all sides, acquiring and housing a vast colonist workforce, and making the transition from manufacturer to corporate state. Altera's threat to cease trade was one of the turning points in the conflict, bringing about the end of the hostilities and signing of the charter. Free enterprise within Altera space is encouraged, but competition is tight, and all goods exported off-world must be Altera branded. Profitable businesses are bought out by the state. Owners ascending to the board of directors. I didn't read that right. Profitable businesses are bought out by the state. Owners ascending to the board of directors. Whatever. Well-known Altera technologies, like the Cyclops submersible, originated with such private enterprises. Okay. Despite superficial similarities to national governments, the corporation's lawyers have always maintained that there is no legal obligation to its employees, but voluntarily elects to take on the roles usually served by a democratic elected government. This claim has not been tested in Federation courts. Okay, so they literally made guns, sold them to all parties, And then we're like, we could stop selling you guns if you don't give us power. And so they like won the war themselves and took over as this like friendly corporation, but they're actually a super monopoly government. Am I understanding that correctly?
I think you're understanding that perfectly correctly, yes.
Holy crap. And that's who
that part that you were confused about down there too, it was saying, because they're trying to put on that, like, with a smile, you know, free enterprise is encouraged, but it's, which there's what they're saying, but they're saying, if you are a successful business, we're going to buy you out, and we're going to take whatever you were selling. And that's what the Cyclops was. It was not something they made, it was something they bought from someone else.
Gotcha. So yeah, they're like Amazon.
Yeah.
They're like if Amazon and Jeff Bezos took over the world.
Give Amazon a few more years and we're gonna...
If Amazon started making guns, once Amazon starts making guns, this is what they're gonna be. Gosh, that's so scary because that is so real.
It's pretty crazy. The people who made the game did such an excellent job, I think.
Oh yeah.
In creating, like, fleshing out the world.
I didn't even realize how... I'm so glad that we're doing this because I legitimately didn't realize how deep so much of this stuff was. Yeah. And they fleshed it out so well, and it doesn't matter in the the minute like activities that you're doing. Yeah. But it makes this world so much more interesting.
It really does.
Okay, you got this one.
What can we learn from the hive mind of Strader 6? Roman numerals, how to think about it.
6.
How are the individuals which make up a hive mind to be categorized? Are they merely dumb components of the larger intelligent organism, or is the larger mind merely a product of the independent organisms? Can it be both? We define organisms by their traits, but find invariability that these traits depend on those of their environment. The concept of a tadpole is meaningless without the concept of the frog it will develop into. The idea of a predator is empty without an understanding of its prey. This begs the question, if we define everything by reference to everything else, what have we actually explained?
Interesting.
An illustrative experiment was recently performed on the hive mind colony discovered on Strader 6. A device was placed outside the nest which would electrocute individuals approaching it. An ant colony would have lost many individuals before a basic danger signal was successfully communicated between them, resulting in learned avoidance of the device. It is successful, but costly. The Strader 6 colony quickly formed into two factions. One attempted to move the device by brute force, sacrificing the individuals as they did so. The second attempted to cover the device in sand. These two goals being mutually exclusive, a fight ensued. The first faction was beaten in virtue of their reduced numbers. The device was safely buried and the survivors called a truce. From the perspective of the individuals, this experience must have been horrific. But from the perspective of the hive mind, a nagging problem had been overcome with the most effective solution. Which perspective is the correct one? We suggest that it's neither. By attempting to fit such entities into our rigid set of concepts, we are painting onto the world a false impression of concreteness and meaning, which is a reflection of our concepts of ourselves. We describe Strader 6 individuals as attacking one another, just as we describe microbes in the human body. Yet the Strader colony, like the body, cannot be healthy as a whole without the aggressions of its components. We describe neurons in the brain as being dumb, but brains as a whole are as intelligent. But when an idea takes hold of the brain, and forces out inferior ones, do we describe this as an act of aggression? Do we mourn dead neurons?
What the heck, dude? I wasn't ready for this.
When a philosophy or a technology takes hold in human society, when wars are fought over them and people die, is that rightly seen as being good or evil? This is not to undermine the meaning of our existence. From where we stand, our existence is very serious indeed. But is our civilization and our universe really any different from the colony of Strader 6? Is intelligence something limited to the things of flesh and blood? Or is the universe truly one giant intelligence system, and we but amoeba, blowing self-important potholes in its surface? We would do well, as scientists, to remember that our goal is not to paint the world as we see it, but to see it as it truly is.
Well, I'm not going to sleep tonight. Jeez Louise. That was intense. That's crazy.
That was messy.
I feel like this video's gone on too long for me to comment on that because this game is so interesting.
A lot to digest. We'll let you guys in the comments decide what I don't know.
Yeah, put in the comments. Just like I don't know. Just let's talk about this stuff. I can talk
Please
about.
comment
it more.
on the philosophy of that that experiment on Strader 6.
Gosh, that was wild. Is this stuff interesting?
This is interesting. This is like reading the Pokedex entries. It's up to you.
Okay, I didn't scan a lot. I'll just read like a couple interesting ones.
Okay.
Like the Leviathans. Oh,
I was
that's
going to
right.
say, if you're going to do any of them, yeah, we'll have to scan more. There's a few Leviathans out there, but that's going to be the big... Yeah, like get that,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I'll read the floater, because we just got him.
Who, the ancient floater?
Yeah, the ancient floater. You're...
when you poop and don't flush?
Yeah. Ancient floater.
Good, right?
Biodata suggests that these vast floaters have matured in an ingenious symbiosis with the land that they have attached to. The attached landmass is raised into the water, increasing sunlight and encouraging plant growth. As older plants decay, organic residues and nutrients seep into the rock and are consumed by the floater. These circumstances must have held for thousands of years for a floater to reach this size. Life cycle. Immature floaters are born near the surface, from where they sink to the seabed, attaching to any stable surface they find on the way. Those individuals fortunate enough to attach to a digestible nutrient source will grow in size, thus increasing their buoyancy and drawing whatever they attach to closer to the surface. In extreme circumstances, a number of floaters may attach to a Leviathan-class life form, forcing it to the surface and effectively asphyxiating it. The body will be consumed over a number of months until eventually dissolving, leaving the floaters free to attach to a new host. Those creatures which successfully raise a landmass to the surface are rewarded with burgeoning and permanent food supply, allowing them to finally reproduce and begin the cycle again. Assessment? Incredible. So I had a thought, and I can't remember if I shared it, but I had the thought after we attached one to the land shark, or whatever it was called, sand shark.
Yeah.
What if we got an inventory full of floaters and a stasis rifle, stopped a Reaper Leviathan, and stuck as many floaters to it as we could
as possible?
This tells me that we could kill it that way.
I think you might be onto something.
And that I'm gonna try that before the series is over. That is my goal, is I want to try to kill a Leviathan with a bunch of floaters.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Thank you.
I'm definitely here for it.
Bulba tree plant.
I think all of this is plants.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, at this point, we're probably about as far as we need to be. Maybe if we find more Degassi stuff, we can read that or scan more Leviathans or something. But for the most part, that's kind of the lore that we've got going on right now.
Yeah, I kind of plan now that we've caught up, as we pick stuff up, paying more attention to it. Especially now that I had no idea.
Invested.
I had no idea that it was that interesting and that deep and invested, and there's so much going on. Now it's like, now I desperately want a Subnautica movie. I want to see Altera. I want to see the war. I want to see them taking all the guns. I want to see them building the ships. I want to see them going. And this is just crazy. This is so cool. This game is so cool. I wish I wasn't so scared by it. But thanks everybody for joining us. If anybody sat through that whole thing and listened to our stupid voices that whole time, you're a real one.
Wow.
Next time, I won't make any promises, but next time we're going to continue to do things and explore. And
won't make any promises. Maybe next time we won't do anything.
Well, there's a proposed Degassi habitat over here.
Ooh.
And another rendezvous point on dry. Wasn't that where I tried to go?
That's actually the same one. Yeah, you can get rid of that if you want to.
Okay. Well, we'll go to this other Degassi thing maybe, and we'll do some other stuff and
do a little more exploring, like you do.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining us. Say hi to Reefy. And down with Altera. That was impressive.
Thank you.
Legitimately. And I'm going to fix the color of the Jonkler.
All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this and are looking for more video entertainment, please check out some of our other videos.